Well, hello everyone. I have just come up for the day. It's Friday and I just need to decide what I'm going to tackle this day. Yesterday I made quite a bit of soap and filled up my 3 biggest molds, but as a result of that, I also have a whole bunch of soap dishes to do. They stack nicely, but there's actually quite a lot there to get accomplished. So I need to do that. My husband was up here wrapping Christmas presents last night, and they were mine, so that was fun. Anyway, I have to decide what I want to do. I have it in my mind to maybe make figgy cream today, but again, my dishes are dirty and my molds are full, and I usually like my soap to sit in the molds for more than a day, and I just made these late yesterday afternoon, like 5 or so is when I finished. So I don't rightly know. It's a cloudy day. It's a little bit rainy. We went from like 74-ish degrees yesterday, and today is like in the 50s. So I don't know. It zapped my energy a little bit, but I have several things to do. I need to pack my orders. Usually if I just get my shoes on, come upstairs, and tackle things, it all kind of snowballs. It's still early enough to change my mind on the soap making. So I made a batch of calendula carrot soap, and my goodness, the orange essential oil that I used in this batch was intense. So even with titanium dioxide, it's still very yellow. And then, this here, I totally scorched my cocoa butter and my coconut oil. I had it on the burner and I forgot about it, and I went downstairs and had lunch and came up like an hour later and it was ruined. So I've saved it just on the off chance that maybe someday I'll make soap for us with it, just to see, if it really comes through, but I'm not going to use it to sell. So this one here, ooh, that one's blueberry. Oh, goodness gracious. It smells amazing. Let's give it a little spray. And these are continuing my single color soaps. I'm going to go ahead and cover it back up though. My single color soaps with goat milk and buttermilk. And then under here, I have to remember, lemon. That's right. I did a different lemon blend. This is not the lemon verbena, because I get a lot of requests for straight up lemon. Now I do have another lemon to try with It's Just Good Soap. So I had a couple lemons here to work with. So that's what we're going to do there. I'm trying to go slower for the people that get dizzy from camera stuff. I'm going to have to just set this down for a minute, and I'm just going to give this guy a little spray. So I'd probably be okay unmolding these, but yesterday, my goodness gracious. So over here, this one is watermelon, and this spot right here, oh my goodness, the shadows are very bad here. It's kind of dark. Anyway, that little bit of ash just got worse and worse as the day went on, and I would spray it and set it aside, and then I would work for 5 minutes and turn around and there'd be more ash, and I was like, what are you doing? It's like, I called him Lester Ashmore from the sodium carbonate family, because I feel like he was like a living, breathing entity up here with me yesterday. Do you know that movie, Night at the Museum 2? And the Egyptian dude, and he's like, do not cross this line. and Ben Stiller, isn't that his name? Ben Stiller, his character, he keeps like reaching over, and he's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you reached across and you crossed the line. He was just so exasperated, and that's what I felt like yesterday. I was like, do not cross this line, and he still did. So I named him Lester Ashmore. That's his name. From the sodium carbonate family, from that clan, Okay, so down here, this one is sweet pea. and the color is very distorted. This is just a very pale coral color, which was exactly the color that I wanted it to be this time. So yeah, we've got the sweet pea and we've got the watermelon. Up here we have the peach doing its thing. Then we have calendula carrot there and blueberry and lemon, and oh, there's a lot more coming. A lot more. So one thing I really want to make too is an unscented soap, and I want to make it with some kefir. I have some goat milk kefir, and I also have just some regular kefir that I bought at the health food store. And I thought for that it would be fine to go back to the huge block of cocoa butter. Now, I hate that thing. It's just like a 50-pound block, or maybe it's 40, 55 maybe, from Blossom Bulk. Let's look. Because I have one block I'm working on, and then one block I haven't even been into yet. What does it say? I can't see. 55 pounds of cocoa butter. Oop, I'm going slow. Slowly. Anywho. So, I have chisels, and that is literally the hardest block of cocoa butter of life. So I don't know what it thinks that's all about. But anyway, what am I doing? Anyway, I was just going to prop you up there for a second. So anyway, I have the chisels and everything, and that makes me very angry. You're supposed to use a lot of physical, stuff like that to get rid of anger, but it actually makes me even more angry because that is the hardest cocoa butter of life. So, I got to thinking, I can't always have my husband up here. So, what would a man do? Power tools. You know what I'm saying? What would a guy like Tim Allen, Home Improvement, his little grunt thing that's freaky cute. Anyway, what would he do? He would power tools. I don't know if you can even see it very well. This is a Cobalt air hammer. It even has a fancy name, Max Strike. I thought, you know what? I have the air up here for my bath bomb maker. So why not just use that to have an air chisel? So we might have to give that a test today. It says produces 2,800 blows per minute. I don't know. That actually kind of scares me a little bit. Anti-slip rubberized handle absorbs vibration. That sounds good. Flat blade chisel included. So I'll have to get this out and give it a clean up, because I sanitize everything. I might have to have my husband come up because I'm actually kind of scared to try this for the first time. So, yeah. So that's what I think we're going to do there. I have a couple orders to pack, so I think that what I should do is pack the orders very first tippy top thing, and I'll come back after that. Well, I have my orders packed and I have my dishes done over there. And I admit that I don't have very much energy, but I know that if I just go over there and start mixing my light solutions and everything, that I will get the energy. So, mellow country is not going to work for me today. So I found this song yesterday. I was listening to a Travis Tritt playlist, and then all of a sudden, I was listening to this song, and I was like, what? Wait, that's like the Five Finger Death Punch dude, and that's one of my husband and daughter. They just love that band. So I'm going to put on those jams, and I'm sure that's going to get me going. Here we go. Okay, so here we are. I had to have my husband come up and figure it out because I could not figure it out. But it's going to be a little loud, and I will probably tone that down in the actual video. So here we have the air hammer, and I might scream because it's kind of scary. Okay, here we go. It's going to sound like a tire shop in here for a minute. I might need a sturdier container to do this with, but it's working. So this is kind of fun. Make sure it's sturdy down in there. It is. It needs recharged. Okay, so that is definitely what it was. I don't know why, but the compressor wasn't kicking on, but now it's super loud and kind of scary. So here we go. Yeah, see there? Ah! I need to turn it down now. Holy moly. You scary. This does feel slightly dangerous, so pardon me for that part. We will get this figured out. So that worked splendidly. I need 54 ounces of cocoa butter for this batch I'm doing. So that helped so much. The air is still coming out of the hose doodad. Alright, so probably need another big chunk. 54.15, so I'm actually going to take some out. My favorite coffee creamer is about to go on sale. I love this stuff, the Primal coffee creamer. It's primal.com. And so there's a new flavor that's about to be listed in about 8 minutes. So I think I'm going to run downstairs so that I can make that order. My doodad over there is still hissing, so we're going to have to figure that out. I need to reorganize my chaos around here. And my my oils are almost melted there. I just kind of have a mishmash of a mess around here. So I'm going to go have lunch, and then I think I'll come back and organize and make my soap. So I'm back upstairs, and I did get my order in. I was really excited to try this Italian sweet cream one, and I wanted to order some more pumpkin spice, and there's a new flavor. I don't know if I'm going to, where did it go? Hello? I'm not sure if it'll be my most favorite in the world because I don't like overly buttery things, but the butterscotch toffee really looked good. And if you guys decide to do this at all, make sure you get the, I can't see where I'm going. Make sure you get this frother dealio. So what I do is I put a little bit of the creamer in my coffee cup and some cream with it. You could do milk or whatever, but I use a little bit of cream and I froth it up and then brew my coffee in the cup from my Keurig, and it's delicious. Now you could do it if you just have like a pour situation. You could just pour out a little bit of coffee with your creamer and then froth it and then just fill it the rest of the way up. I really love this stuff, and Courtney is awesome. I really like her. I like her stories, and you know, she just seems like a really good, genuine person, and designed this for her family because they had some diabetic issues. And so yeah, I just wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out since I do love it so much. I'm gonna go ahead and unmold a couple of these because I need the molds for today. There's one reason. I know some people are like, wow, why do you wait so long? Well, this mold, this soap batch is so big. This is how many, I don't even know how many pounds. I'll have to, I don't know, it's like between 30 and 40, I think, pounds of soap. And it's still warm. So when you unmold soap when it's still warm and uncover it and all that, it can have more of a tendency to have the ash. And so that's why I like to let them just sit for a while. So, we obviously aren't going to cut into it yet. So I'm just going to get it on a tray. Okay, so I have my tray here. And I'm still just going to put it on as is, but I might peel this back just to get it off of there for a moment. Looking pretty good. Looks like, see this ring here, I do not believe that it's a partial gel, it's just that it's still warm there. Alright, so I'm going to go put this one on the tray, the rack. I guess I'll do the blueberry as well, might as well at this point. And just go ahead and get it on the shelf, and I'll put this mold away. So I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I'm going to make figgy cream soap today. I think I mentioned it as a possibility, but that is what I decided to do. And I was going to do a double batch because I do the bottom is one layer and then the main is another layer, but it was still going to be, I don't know, like 540 ounce batch, and I don't have a pot that big, so I'm still gonna have to split it up. So I thought, why bother? Just do one big one for now. This mold is just a little bit more snug. I love this color. This is exactly what I wanted. On the lemon one also. So, lift this guy up too. That is looking beautiful. So I had bought the parchment paper sheets, and then they fell out of the bag all over the floor, which means that's a no-go for me. So that was a loss of all those. So I'm gonna get some more. Oh, that was heavy. Alright, so here we go with calendula carrot. There's usually, this is the actual mold I'm going to use for figgy cream. It's usually much whiter and a noticeable difference, but it didn't happen so well this time, so we'll see. And that's just because of the essential oil was so dark. There should still be a difference between the, you know, lightened and the non-lightened part. Oh, my shoulder is getting sore and this wrist is getting sore, but Fridays I tend to power through so that I can have a nice restful Saturday. I don't feel like I can relax on Saturday, but I don't have a really good day on Friday. So I knew I just wanted to power through and get my soap made today. I'd actually kind of planned on maybe making a cuticle cream today, just playing a little bit more, but I decided I really wanted the figgy cream made because I really don't want it to ash, so I want it to sit all weekend in the mold. There's definitely not a big difference in color. You probably can see here. Here's some of the non-lightened, I should say. This one's still warm. So this one isn't a lot bigger, but I do get another loaf out of it between the way we cut the other one and cut this one. Okay, so I need to line my molds, which I already cut my paper yesterday for today. So I need to line my molds and get my colors ready, and then I'll probably be ready to make some soap. It's almost, oh, it's after, oh man, it's 3:20 already. Good grief. I figured we ought to cut this strawberry soap since it's a week old. It's just been sitting there, and it's not been out of sight, but it has been out of mind. And it is smelling much better. Oh my goodness. And so I think I'll probably use it. I'm not noticing the plastic smell anymore, so I'll probably go ahead and use it. And it may still be just for us. I went and looked on there at Nurture Soap, and now there's only 1 ounce bottles available. So hopefully they'll get that back in for too long. So, kind of shaky. Darned it. My muscles are, everything's getting tired. I've had some questions about my injuries a couple of times. One is soap related, and that's my neck. I pulled a neck muscle really bad one time, moving a 50-gallon bucket. That was clear back when we lived in Belton in Kansas City area. And I've never quite gotten over that. So I really have to stretch and massage and take some ibuprofen every now and again, because it can give me a pretty brutal headache. It also causes me to have twitches. So like my eye will start twitching. It hasn't, my eyelid, you know, it hasn't been bad today, but I've had it a little bit. I can just tell that, I'm getting tired a little bit. And then the other one is my right shoulder. And that was not soaping related, but it is definitely tweaked by soaping just because it's heavy as everything is. And my Doberman caused that one. It was just such a silly thing. It's almost like a tendinitis or bursitis, and I don't have it all the time. It just depends on how like active I'm getting. Like today it's starting to really throb, and I'll have a hard time moving my arm in bed. I think there was another name for it. Anyway, just this motion here in certain positions, it just doesn't work very well, so I can't like lift the pots. Well, what happened, it's such a silly thing. So when I sit downstairs at my desk, I'm on the right side of the desk, so I'm always over here, you know, with my mouse and everything. Well, my Doberman, when he really, really wants something, and he's kind of quit doing this, which is actually nice, but he would come from this side and just rest his head on my arm. Well, I will sit there and mess with it for a while, and I'll talk to him and stuff. And then I'll just kind of, you know, lift my arm. I was like, okay, buddy, it's time for you to move your head. I get you need something. You want me to take you outside or something? Well, one day I went to move my arm, and if he really, really wants something, he resists and he pushes my arm down. And I was getting really frustrated, and I put a little bit more like into this, you know, to like move his head away, because he was holding down so hard, and he pressed super hard. Oh my gosh, he pressed so hard, and I couldn't even move my arm, but like blew out my shoulder tendon or whatever, I don't know. So it's pretty much fine. It just hurts on occasion. Usually when I'm upstairs and really moving around, I do well. It's later at night that I start getting pretty sore. I haven't had much for carpal tunnel this year, which has been awesome. Or this winter season, so that's gotten a little bit better. So it's just a matter of resting it and not aggravating it, but if I didn't want to aggravate it, then I kind of can't work up here anymore. So that's my story. I've just always had weaker like tendons and stuff like that. I've always had, I tell my husband I have hip dysplasia because of my tendons in my hip area. But I've had that since I was a teenager. So it's just partly me. I just have to deal with it is all. Okay, so I'm measuring out the goat milk kefir and the regular kefir for the kefir unscented soap. And one thing I thought was really funny is that they both have the same Shake Well sticker on the top. It's the same bottle, but it's different places. So this is Green Valley Creamery. And these peeps are out of Sebastopol, California. And this Redwood Hill Farm peeps, they're from the same place. Let's see. Well, they even have the same address. So now this one says Red Hill Farm and Creamery also. So why did they have two different names going on? I don't understand the purpose of that. Okay, Shake Well. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to do probably 9 ounces of each of the super creamy lusciousness. And kefir, if you don't know anything about it, it's fermented milk, and it's kind of just like a pourable yogurt. They have a little different round of, what are they called? Good bacteria. And people do use yogurt in soap, so kefir is just fine also. So here we go in with, whoa, nothing is happening. It's a hint thicker. I might want to run, this is more like an actual yogurt, much thicker. I think did I shake this one well? I can't even remember. Let's try it again. I think I shook them on the way up anyway. Whew. Whoa, hello. Well, that's a little bit better. So I want to go up to, whoa, 18. I probably won't get all of that out there. So I am probably going to give this a stick blend first if I can, but now I gotta go put these back in the refrigerator. Okay, dokie, it's after 5 now, and it's time just to get this soap made. I'm gonna give that a little bit of a blend. Maybe, we'll see. Hopefully I don't make a huge mess. That's pretty good. I'll blend that up even more here. Oh, making messes. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put all this. I'm trying to do it so everybody can see. Ooh, isn't that luscious? I must say, I really like these milks together. They're just so extra creamy. Well, they're kefir, obviously, so it's not just milk. And I'm actually only using it at 5%. I think it's 5% of my oil weight. So it's not really that much. The total liquid for mixing my lye solution that I can have for this batch is, I'll go look, 110 ounces is what I can have total in liquid. So it's in the milk and the sodium lactate and the water. So there are some scientific reasons of why we can add dairy products to our soap and it doesn't go bad. And that is, the number one reason is the pH level of the soap. It's not a great environment for mold and bacteria and all that to survive. We have heat situations, we have the pH, we have low water availability. So I'm not super scientific about it. I don't always say it exactly right. I kind of know it in my head because I've researched it many times. But I'll try to provide some links if I can remember. So this is not going to be a hard batch of all. It's just going to be a matter of getting it blended and poured. I've reduced the water for the batch because unscented soap doesn't need all that extra water. It's going to take longer to trace typically anyway. So minus the water and minus the fragrance oil content, I've increased the batch size so it'll be somewhat the same size as a regular bar. That also means that between the milks and more oils and everything, that this batch size is actually probably going to cost a little bit more in the long run than a standard bar, depending on what fragrance is used, of course. Most of our fragrances, many of us have seen our fragrances go from $15 a pound to $50 in a lot of cases. So we've really seen some major increases in, you know, don't even get us started on the price of essential oils. So I don't like to pour this at a thin trace. I just don't. I don't like how that, are we focused? Can't tell. I just don't like how that turns out. So I'm just gonna let it sit for a moment. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this, and I've switched around just a little bit because, you know, I'm pouring with my left arm. So here we go. I can't talk because it's so heavy. There's a lot of air bubbles in there. I think I'm going to take a moment to swish things around a little bit and stir this up some more. Oh, I do love unscented soaps, and yogurt in soap is amazing. See, my husband is home. He ran to do a Sam's Club curbside. Have you noticed that we're having some food shortage issues again? We can't even get milk at Sam's Club. And our grocery store limiting us to 2 packs of eggs. That's kind of a bummer. I think some of it probably has to do with Christmas cooking. I don't know. I know that butter always gets more expensive in November and December. I kind of feel like doing some holiday baking this weekend. I wonder what in the world I should do. Okay. I'm just gonna be a little awkward here, but just get this in there. So I feel accomplished. I feel like I've gotten a nice amount done today. Not a super like hustle day, but still got some things done and did pretty good considering I was pretty tired and didn't want to do anything, but now I can rest easy. Oh goodness, I'm gonna rest so well knowing that these soaps are all made this week. I'm really excited about it. Got 8 soaps on the shelf, curing, so we are well on our way. I have plans for 20, but you know, I'm not sure I should do 20 because that feels like more work than I want to do. My husband said the other day, I am so excited for this new collection because we're not going to plain and bevel them, but they're going to be more like in my regular with the milks. Oh, he's like, I'm so excited that we're not going to do it because cleaning 2,000 soaps, beveling and planing, it does get to be a lot, and it does work up my husband's arm and shoulders too. So neck, he gets tired of it too. So it was all fine and well, you know, when we were making small batches, but we're going to continue to do it for like figgy cream and our more luxurious stuff, but kind of going to get some just regular line stuff going on where we don't have to do that. So I think this is all I'm going to do with this one. It's pretty thin still, but it's leaving just a tiny bit of a design. So I guess I'll clean up and I will be back. Well, everything's looking pretty good. I'm going to spray this and cover it. This one does like the ash, so I spray it liberally and then I'll probably be back up here. And this one I put down here so that it can get some airflow underneath it as well. The unscented soaps often will overheat because reduced water and more milk and more cocoa butter. So I'm just going to cover it lightly and hope it does a good job. So now, as we have it, as the day began, so it ends with all sorts of dishes. I hope everybody has a really super duper weekend, and I'll talk to you later.